Playwright just released 3 new agents: Playwright, Generator, and Healer, and we have a lot of stuff inside. First of all, we have agents drop down over here. We have 2 Playwright MCP servers. We have agents files itself, Planner, Generator, and Healer on the GitHub folder, and we have seed.spec.ts. A lot of stuff happening here, so let's tear this down and look a little bit closer. So to install this agent, you need to update Playwright to version 156, first of all, and after that you need to run this command in VS Code, npx playwright init agents, and so on. After you run this stuff, the new agents will be generated. So you will see in the dropdown Planner, Generator, and Healer. But before we go into the agents, I want to talk about MCP, Playwright MCPs. So look, now we have 2 Playwright MCP servers. Initially, I had this one, Playwright MCP, that I have downloaded from official github.com from here. If I type Playwright, and here is the Playwright MCP that I can download. And with this new Playwright agent package, we have Playwright Test MCP server, and they are different. If we look into the list of the tools, if I click on the tools icon right here, and these are my servers. So look, this is the set of tools of original Playwright MCP servers, and it has 24 tools. But the new Playwright MCP server, which called Playwright Test, it has 39 tools, which is a lot more. And it has a new tools, for example, like moving the mouse by X and Y coordinates, or it can make a snapshots, or it also can do like verification of values or the text. It has also test debugger. So a lot new features added to this MCP. And to be honest, I'm not sure why the first MCP server was not synchronized with this one by the number of the tools. And also this Playwright MCP server installed on the workspace level. So if you open a new instance of Visual Studio Code with a different project, this Playwright Test MCP server will not be installed, while this Playwright MCP server is configured for the entire Visual Studio Code. And I did not find any problem, to be honest, having both MCP servers, so agent can figure out which of the MCPs to use. So they have just overlapping of the tools, but it's not a problem at all. Now let's talk about the agents itself. They are located under the GitHub folder, chat modes folder, and these are 3 MD files. So for example, this is a Planner agent, and in this agent you can find all the description what this agent is responsible for. So you have a description that uses agent when you create a comprehensive plan, the list of tools this agent can use, then the role of the agent. You are an expert web test planner with extensive experience, and then the workflow that you navigate and explore, analyze user flow, design comprehensive scenarios, structure test plans, and so on. Then we have example spec is how we expect this agent to generate the test plan for us. So splitting on the sections and on the scenarios, and the scenarios should have steps and the expected result, then quality standards and the output format. So that's pretty much it. And technically, agent is not the magic at all. Agent is just a set of instructions with the prompts what this agent can do. The difference between agents and instructions that agent has a limited exposure to the tools that this agent can use, while instruction will use all the tools available to the default, for example, Copilot agent. So if we go to the agent over here, if I select just this agent, my agent currently have exposure to all these tools. And I can easily convert this agent, for example, into the instruction. It's going to work the same way. So if under the GitHub I create a new folder which I call instructions, okay, and then I create new file like planner.instructions.md, like this, and then I literally copy this description from this file like this, Control-C, paste it over here, Control-V, and now I go back to my agent, add context, add instructions, and add this planner as the instructions to my context, and now I can write the prompt. This planner instructions will be exposed to all the tools available to the default agent of my Copilot. and I can write my prompts and it's gonna work the same way. So that's the difference. So the agents are created just for, I believe, security and just to make sure that agent has a limited exposure and will not delete your production database, for example. Now let's try to use the planner agent. So I switch to the planner agent over here. And one thing I want to show you is that we have this issue with the red squigglies for some reason. So you see it says unknown tool, Playwright planner setup page, and so on. And to be honest with you, I don't know why does this happen, and I don't know why those tools are not recognized by the planner agent inside of the Copilot by default. And if I try to run this planner agent as is without fixing this dependency, my agent will operate without access to the tools at all. And you know, it's actually very funny to watch because it's 100% hallucinations over there. And let me show you this in action first of all. We need to talk about the seed file. So seed.spec.ts is the spec file that you need to feed into the agent as the initial step where the agent should start with, you know, exploration of your application. In my case, I will give it just the first steps to log into my Conduit application with sign in, email, password, and click sign in button. So this is the first step. Agent will execute these first steps, and then from here we'll continue, you know, working with my application, exploring the scenarios and all that stuff. And now let me try to run the agent with the broken tool set as I showed you before, and let's write a simple prompt. For example, open test application and create a new article and hit enter. Let's see what's gonna happen. So I provided seedspec.ts as my starting point, and will it be able to do anything? And look what it says. Perfectly, I've successfully opened the application, signed into the test credential, navigated to the new article. I created the article, published the article successfully created and published in your application. You should now see it in your feed on your profile page. Well, let's see. Going to my test application, you see I logged in as my user, refresh, and where's the article? The article is not created. So the agent thought that he navigated somewhere, interacted with the page, created the article, you know, the complete nonsense, 100% hallucination. That happened because this agent does not have exposure to the actual Playwright MCP, to the tools. It cannot do anything. But it is kind of, you know, sad to see that it cannot reflect on himself, telling, hey, I don't have visibility to tools. I cannot open the browser to give me some kind of feedback that something is wrong. So don't fall into this trap. Now, how to enable the tools? If I click on the tool set, you can currently clearly see that no tools are available. And I don't know why it doesn't work by default. So even my agent has the list of tools, for some reason it's not integrated correctly with the Copilot. I was looking into different settings here in VS Code and Copilot. I was not able to figure this out. I don't know. Anyway, we can override it. So we can see that this agent using Playwright test MCP server, it using edit tool, and it also using search. So let's just enable these three tools for this agent. I'm going back, click on the tools, and I enable edit, I enable, where is my search? Here is the search and the Playwright test MCP, and click OK. After that, also for some reason, which I don't really like, the tools that were initially in the agent file were modified with my selection for the Copilot, which I find a little bit strange because the agent file, the agent configuration somehow should be protected from accident modification by other tools. Anyway, it is what it is. We fixed the tools dependencies for our agents. Now we can try to run exactly the same prompt, open test application, and create a new article. And now look at the difference. So no, hold on. We need a seed file. Okay, open test application and create a new article. You know what? Let me create a new session for the cleaner result. So seed seed spec file is the in the context, and I'm running this prompt. And now with exposure to the tools, it should be able to use Playwright MCP to actually run the browser and actually go through the steps. Look, okay, it's running the browser, okay, it's logged into application, now we're talking. It is using Playwright test MCP server, and it's reflecting on the steps. It can click on the buttons and let it cook a little bit. So I have a little timer right here. So I will record all my modifications and operations with the MCP, so I can speed up my video and just show you the result instead of waiting for this generation. And also I will show you how long does it take actually to generate the steps through the MCP. All right, the article was created and it took 1 minute of a real time to complete this article creation. And right now, agent was using its tools to interact with the browser. So looks good. Let me delete this article and I'm gonna close the browser. So now let's try to use the planner agent for the stuff that it's designed for. It's designed to explore our test application and create a comprehensive test plan, how to test it. Let's give it a task and first of all see the success of this task and how long does it take. So let's do something like this. Explore my test application and generate a comprehensive test plan. And I hit enter, and also I start my timer to see how long does it take for this agent to explore my test application. So I'll speed up the video and we'll show you result at the end. Ooh, all right, done. So I stopping the timer and it took 14 minutes and 18 seconds to complete this task. It's just, yeah, quite a lot. It's generated the comprehensive test plan.md. So let's look into this comprehensive plan. So I keep it as is. And this is a, you know, pretty long list of 1500 lines of code with just a bunch of scenarios. So this is some registration scenarios, register with duplicate username. I'm specifically interested in the flow if it's automated the scenario for creation of the article. So global articles, view the feed. Let's see. Article creation and management. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. And why I'm looking into this? Because MCP actually did not navigate into this flow. So look, it created a scenario like click on new article, verify redirect, then fill the article field, enter text, publish the article, and then some validations and so on. The fun fact that Playwright MCP did not actually navigate during the exploration phase to this scenario. So it did not know that it can create the article, that it has 3 fields, that there is a publish article button. Where did it get this information? I have no idea, to be honest. But since my application is publicly hosted, maybe the LLM was trained on all publicly available information, or maybe LLM collecting history of my requests before, because I'm working with this application as well, and maybe combining all this information and somehow knows that my application have those fields, this button, and this is how I create the article. And this is kind of a red flag for me, because it generates the scenarios based on some unknown knowledge for me. And you know, it's kind of scary. And because of that, it can be, of course, inaccurate, because it can be disconnected from the real flow of the application. And also, look, the scenarios is create the article, create with Markdown, create with missing title, yeah, okay, create article with missing content, okay, create article without text, some kind of basic kind of scenarios that's, you know, a little bit disconnected from reality, but some of them make sense. Let's try to give a little bit narrower context to the planner, because it's definitely limited to how many operations can perform using Playwright MCP. It cannot go and explore completely your application, clicking on every single button. We need to give some specific path, specific flow. Hey, go here, explore this path, and create a test plan. And that way it can produce some more meaningful results. So let me update my prompt, and let me create a new one, and I'll start like this. Create a comprehensive test plan for creation and deletion of the article workflow. And I hit enter. And right now we're told, hey, now go create article, look how it works, and it should run the browser and execute this for us. And I start my timer one more time, and I start the timer, and I speed up this video one more time to see what result will be produced. All right, guys, I'll stop this agent because it's taking too long. It's already 15 minutes on my timer, and it looks like it's stuck with updating the existing comprehensive test plan. So it's added the new section, create and delete article, and then started updating the rest of the section in the existing file. And for some reason, it took it just, a lot of time. I don't see a reason just to continue waiting it. So what we have at the result? As a result, we have a list of creation and deletion of articles, and look at this. Well, much better result. First of all, it used Playwright MCP server, legitimately navigated to create the article, found the field, observed the buttons, tried different scenarios. So more meaningful flow. But the result of the actual scenarios, I don't know, kind of questionable. So create article and delete from the result. Well, okay, then create article, navigate away, return and delete the article. I don't know, is it a valid scenario? Create multiple articles and delete one. What do we test over here? Edit article and then delete. Okay, maybe. Attempt to delete another user's article, unauthorized. Okay, it also makes sense. Attempt to access article editor without authorization. All right, let's assume create article with only required fields, and these are the required fields. I don't know how to figure it out that those fields are required, but okay. Rapid creation and deletion, quite interesting. Give me the definition of rapid, right? And this is it. But what it missed, the scenario, the core scenario of this application, that you cannot create the article with duplicated title. So it created the whole bunch of things, but missed the core scenario. All right, so the key outcome out of this exercise. Playwright Planner can be useful for brainstorming phase. For example, you have a test application, you have your already existing test cases, but you're not sure if everything is covered. So you can throw several user flows, critical user flows into the planner, let it generate for you, a bunch of test cases, and then you feed your existing test cases into the agent, take this comprehensive test plan generated by the planner, and you can ask the prompt something, hey, compare my existing test cases that are correct and legit with the list of these generated test cases. Can you find for me some edge case scenarios where I might be missing something or can be useful to test? And then agent can return you the list of top 10 scenarios. Hey, look here, here, and here. And maybe it can give you the insight what and where are you missing. So this is one of the use cases where I see this planner agent can be useful. Now, let's go to the next agent. And let's try to ask our agent, so I keep those changes, and let's ask our agent to generate for us, for example, create article and delete from detail page, something like this. And let's create two scenarios, scenario number 1 and scenario number 2. So for that, I'll go to a new agent, which is generator agent. I need to fix the tools for this guy. So it is edit tool, then it is a search tool, and also the Playwright MCP. Okay, tools are set. Then go in here and I type something like this. Generate a test script for the scenarios, and the scenarios are this one, 4.1, and the second scenario is this one. And also I want to provide as a context, where is my seed file, and the seed file as a starting point. So this agent, generator agent, assumption that it will open generator setup page. It's a new tool available in Playwright MCP. And then it will look into the test steps of the test scenario, manually execute those steps in real time. And then also a new tool available in updated version of Playwright MCP, it look into the generator read log, and based on this log, it will generate the test steps. So generator read log and generator write test, these are the new tools available in newer Playwright MCP. So spec is provided, comprehensive test plan is provided as a context, and let's just go. And I also reset my timer, and let's see how long does it take to generate 2 test cases. All right, guys, we're done, and it took us 15 minutes and 40 seconds to generate 2 test cases. So let's see what we have. First of all, if we look into the invocation of the Playwright MCP tool, so first it took Playwright MCP to interact with the web application, then it took retrieve test log MCP tool, got the log, and based on the tool, it used another tool, ran write test, to actually write the test. Let's see what we have. We have 2 spec files, spec file number 1 and spec file number 2. Let's review. So this is the test, and is it good or not? So we navigate, this is the steps it took from our seed file, click on the article, navigate, okay, fill the fields, add a couple of tags, click the publish the article, seems all right. Then validation of the heading over here, and verify redirect to article detail page. And then this is where the red flags start happening, especially to me. So look, it's validating that the text somewhere, this is a deletion article, somewhere is visible on the page. Not that this is a body of the page or something. This is like somewhere visible on the page. If we scroll a little bit down, yeah, we don't have examples like this, but I like this not shop. Expect body to match snapshot empty. I don't know, interesting. Let's see the second scenario. So the second scenario, same step, enter the tags. It validated header of the article. Click on the home, delete article, and then make sure that the home page have the URL. So more or less kind of okay, but the validations like this, I would say this is kind of unacceptable stuff. But let's try to run these tests. So I go into the test runner over here and trying to run all of my 4 tests, and most likely it's gonna fail. So running the test number 1, and publish the article. I know it's gonna work because it's deleting the article right away, and running the second test. Did it run? No, it's actually failed. Look at this. This one is failed, and this one is failed as well, and my login and seed passed successfully. So both tests failed, and let's try to use our healer to fix this. How about that? So I go into the agent over here, switch to the healer. I need to fix the tools for these guys as well. So I select edit, I select search and the MCP test. Okay. I create a new thing, and what I want. So this is my test. And do I need to add a second for the context? Let's do this as well. So, and I have 2 failing tests, fix it, and let's run this agent. And as usually, I start my timer. Let's see how long will it take to fix those tests. All right, and it looks like it's done, and it took almost another 10 minutes to fix those two tests. Let's see what was done so we can review. So it figured out that the article for our test should be unique, so it added date now. All right, that's good. Then it's added the variable for this article instead of hard-coded, also good. And figure out that we have two edit article buttons on the page. So it's added the first article. After clicking delete, user redirected to the home page. Okay, added one more assertion. Instead of this weird validation to match area snapshot, it's added article not to be visible. I don't know, seems pretty good. So, and the second test, also it figure out the dynamic title. It figure out, okay, it's replaced regular expression instead of the variable with the name of the article. Okay, this is interesting. So this is click on the article title. Why you didn't use article title over here and used the regular expression? I don't know, this is strange. Anyway, let's keep it. The bottom line over here is this, that healer is actually, can be useful. I like it. Even if it's, painfully slow, at least in my current environment with Sonnet 4.5, it has this tool called Playwright Debug. Where is that? Playwright Debug. Look, run debug single test. So Playwright MCP has a debug tool. It run in the debug mode, collect all the needed information. And this context is very useful for debugging of the test. Previously, Playwright MCP did not have this tool. And debugging was only through the console error messages that are printed on the console during the execution. Debugging mode has a lot more context, so the AI can fix your test more effectively. So out of all three modes, I think I like Healer the most and can be the most valuable out of those three. So let's make a quick summary. So we have Planner, Generator, and Healer. Planner is okay agent, and if you want to brainstorm the test case ideas, compare what you have, what you don't have, like maybe edge case scenario, something like this, this agent can be useful. The generator is, I think, somewhat useful, and my opinion still that using the Playwright code gen will be faster and more efficient approach than using Playwright MCP for generating the script. And one of the reasons is that Playwright MCP does not have access to the DOM of your application. It has access only to accessibility tree, while the Playwright test gen has access to entire DOM. In other words, if your application has data test IDs or maybe CSS that can be used for the test automation, Playwright MCP will not be able to use it because it doesn't see it. The question, why Playwright MCP does not see the entire DOM? I think the main issue is the context, because DOM is like huge. Imagine that if you feed the entire DOM into LLM, it may overwhelm the context, it will be too much. But when you use Playwright CodeGen locally on your computer, you are not limited to the size of the context. So CodeGen just look into the entire DOM, you can find CSS selectors, it can even probably build XPath for you, I don't know. But you can definitely use ID, CSS, and all that stuff. So if your application is not optimized for accessibility, then Playwright MCP may generate inaccurate locators and something that doesn't work. And also it's slow. So you saw it took me, how many, 15 minutes to generate 2 scenarios? I think I would do it faster if I would just use CodeGen, looking into my test script, and clicking on the buttons with the CodeGen. It will generate me much reliable and stable locators. And then Healer, I actually like it. Even if it is slow right now, I think with other models it can be faster, but I like a new tool which is a debugger. So debugging is often one of the most painful part of the test automation. So when you test failing and you don't know how to fix it. So run the Healer agent and it will run your test in the debug mode, collect the information, and it give you a useful insight and probably can fix the tests for you. Whew, all right, guys, that was a long video for me. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about these agents. Try them by yourself. How does it work for you? Let me know in the comments. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video next week. Cheers.